Thank all my guys, everybody back at the shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Back at the Shop. We've been doing this for 2.5 months. We're on episode 10, and if I could ask you to do one small favor, it won't take hardly any time. Click that like button. Leave a comment. Tell us if you like us or hate us, or if you hate all three of us, you hate one of us. God knows somebody hates Sam for some reason. Share it with a friend, and that's all I'm going to ask you to do. So, guys, how are y'all doing from home?
Why does somebody have to hate me?
Everybody's got haters, man.
No, I
That
agree.
just means they're noticing you.
It's true.
Big shit popping.
The heinous
Publicity is good publicity.
they hate us.
They heinous because they anus.
Because they anus.
Penis.
They what?
I am
What?
freezing. There's a vent right under my desk.
There's a vent right to my left under my desk, and it makes my feet cold every time.
I am in my recliner. My feet up.
Imagine that. Sam being comfortable like normal.
That's right. Nothing wrong with
All
that.
right.
So tonight is going to be a decently short episode, everybody, because PJ and Davey have to go run a race on iRacing with Kale and Trey and all kinds of fun people. Except me,
Why
because I
do
don't
you
have
talk
iRacing.
like that? Talk normal.
I am talking normal, Davey.
Because Davey and PJ are going into PJ. Just speak in a normal voice.
That is Sam's voice.
He's getting all Davey like.
Literally how I'm speaking.
We only need one Davy that's squeaky. That's right. Well,
And there's the kid. Welcome him to the show. Tell me he's got a boogie.
Davy, you are breaking out so bad.
Shy. He's
Oh,
like,
sorry. Let me adjust that, and we'll
Say that.
we'll fix that.
Good job,
Right.
buddy.
Meow. How is that?
Yeah. Maybe it's.
perfect.
A little
You
bit.
probably have noise suppression. Your voice is so
Yeah.
squeaky.
I had it on,
It
so I
cuts
turned
out.
it back off. Yeah, I turned
He
it
was
off.
Yeah.
very perturbed with me in the shop today.
No, I wasn't that perturbed.
I kept aggravating the shit out of you on purpose.
I'm used to it.
It's one of my favorite things to do at work.
Yeah, well, Lord knows you don't do anything else at work.
You know, everybody seems
Like-
to think that. It's weird, but
Like, text me back.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, I want to move on to some racing action, or y'all going to bullshit
Yeah.
some more?
Kyle Busch.
No. It's Kyle Busch, and we all knew that.
Kyle Busch.
By that, I mean,
Win number 100. That was a...
Hey.
I know,
I just-
Sam, you were talking, you said you saw it on the Jumbotron at Pocono, but that was a pretty impressive pass he made on Corey Heim in turn 2.
I was standing on pit road, and I watched the last restart. And when Corey Haim pulled away from the field, I'm like, I'm going back to the truck for a little while. I honestly didn't think that Kyle was going to catch him, but I forgot that Kyle Busch is Kyle Busch, and halfway back to the truck, I turn around and look, and he's pulling up to him.
Sorry.
I was trying to cover up my dog licking his sack.
Who's looking their sack?
My dog in the background here. Do you not see him?
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know what he's licking.
I was trying to cover it up with my mic, and I pulled it out of the...
Did y'all
Anyways.
see a plane landed in Lexington without its landing gear?
Was it Jonas Bell?
I thought you were going to say without its pilot.
It was no,
That would be impressive.
would be. Typically, they don't land without pilots. So. I mean, they do, just not safely. They land somewhere.
I bet it wasn't too safe with that landing gear.
No, probably not.
No.
But
I actually watched the episode of George Lopez where the landing gear failed, where they build the landing gear. So they shut the factory down last night. Yeah. Ironic.
yeah, I would say.
All right. But anyways, back to Kyle Busch. Win number 100 for KBM in the Craftsman Truck Series. I know he's glad to be the one to do it, even though it didn't happen earlier. Pretty impressive run. I mean, it's just the boss in these lower series. I know we haven't got, a win out of him at Colleague in the Xfinity Series, but he's run well every time, and obviously it's not what he's used to running in the Xfinity Series, where he was running in JGR equipment, but they're just in another league right now anyways with John Hunter.
Yeah, for sure.
But impressive. 100 wins for KBM. I don't know how many of them are Kyle, but
I mean,
That's a
this,
lot.
I heard an interesting stat during ARCA race coverage the other day. So, out of all of Toyota's NASCAR wins across all three Premier Series, Kyle Busch is responsible for a third of them. So that
That's a
kind of
hefty
gives you
amount.
well, he has like
Really?
63, 64-ish in the Busch Xfinity cars.
and like 100. No, he's got 100 and some in Xfinity cars.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
It's
It's 60 some in the truck.
200 total.
no, not-
or
or
over
is it
200
a
now.
Yeah.
He hit
Yesterday
200 and only
was
like 10 of them are in Chevrolet.
win number 600 for Toyota
Yeah.
as a
And that-
manufacturer across all three series.
I mean, I'm just saying, I was looking at stats. He is out of all three series, he is the winningest driver above
like,
everybody.
current
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
Got for Cup.
I want to say 64, but I will look.
63 or 64.
I was gonna say Denny's got to be a close second at 50 now. I mean,
I think Harvick's above him. Harvick's got like
up there.
58 or 59.
Yeah.
50,
Well, that
something like that.
year, a couple years ago, when he got like,
Well, I got really
nope.
Well, him and Denny won 2/3 of the races in 2020.
and Truex, the three of them were like,
Yeah. But Denny and Harvick had 9 or 10 apiece that year, which is insane.
So in Cup, he has 63 wins.
oh
And-
man, I was looking at that.
In Xfinity, he has 102. And Trucks, he has 64.
Jesus, man, I didn't realize Harvick had that many wins. Wait, so
And 3 in ARCA.
he's got over 200 NASCAR wins also, which I mean isn't surprising, but you know, Harvick's had times in his career where he's like,
I think Harvick was like, I want to say 6th-ish in the all-time wins of National Series. Something like that. Like, he's up there. Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some greatness leaving the sport at the end of this season and in the coming years with Kyle aging. No telling what he's going to do with Denny getting on up there in years. We're really going through a changing of the guard. You know, we went through it a few years ago with Jeff Gordon leaving, with Jimmy leaving, Carl Edwards and whatnot. And
But
then
Jimmy's coming back.
in a different role, running a few races. Yep, but we had that young group of talent come through, and I think we see this every 10 or 15 years. You know, back when they had the Gillette Young Guns, all those young guys, and they aged out and left. And I think that's just how it goes in our sport, and you've got to hit it at the right time to break in as a driver.
Yeah.
But
You both lagged there for like 2 seconds, and I have no idea what you said at the end there.
yeah, that was on your side because you lagged.
And I agree.
All right.
That's good. Then you were talking. So that's
He
perfect.
agrees. You heard it here, back at the shop.
Oh, Weaver. He's so squeaky.
Yes.
Oh man, y'all want to talk some Pocono? Nope.
Pocono's not
What
bad.
turn?
Pocono was good. I do want to. Obviously, KBM got his win number 100. Our very own PJ Farmer got win number 4. So let's give him a round of applause.
You can't hear it because noise suppression.
My thing was lit up green. You might be able to hear it.
Sam's like,
Dude, I was so mad Saturday. I'm like,
I was
I don't
ecstatic.
know what we did to get our numbers off. Which I don't know. I mean, I know we could have gone further on the fuel we had, but I'm like, we're sitting there watching. I'm like, there's no way the 21's gonna make it. He does not have enough fuel, and then it's like, haha, ta-da.
Surprise,
it was
mother.
it was an interesting and a lot of that is on driver too. I mean, that's pretty impressive to be able to save that much fuel.
I thought they had it until they screwed himself.
Yeah, stepped on his pee-pee.
Yeah,
Big
just a little bit.
How about? So I'll be a little controversial here. How about the 7 wrecking a lap car? to bring out the caution. I mean, I don't want to speculate here, but that's kind of what he did.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
two
I'm watching,
JRM
I'm
cars
like-
up front, you know.
It was hard for me to watch. I was at the racetrack, so
Yeah.
I wasn't fully
So
tuned in. But
basically-
I saw the replay of that, and it was
Blatant.
like who was it? Like Martin Truex. We need to have a company policy. Don't wreck your f***ing teammate.
Hey, good timing there, bud.
Yeah, it was like, bro, you don't want your teammate to wreck something.
Yeah, you know, I was just worried about hitting that B button.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know what it's like sitting in the car because I don't. But it's just boggles my mind. You know, Allgaier's a veteran of NASCAR in general, not just the Xfinity series, and he's one of those kind of like the elder statesman guys. They always use that analogy, and it's like you don't really expect stuff out of that like that out of him. But I will say, I remember it was Larson at Pocono actually when we were all at Starcom. I don't know if you guys remember this when Derek Cope was driving the 99 and Larson drove up behind him and wrecked him.
I called that, by the way.
It was not quite at StarCom yet when that happened, so you can leave me out of this.
So I remember it's funny. You were there, weren't you, PJ?
I was.
Yeah, that was
On the radio,
99.
and it's like, hey, let Larson know what line you're running, and you'll stay out of his way. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks for letting me know what line you're running. Drives up behind him and just cleans him out.
I looked at BDD and I was like, what do you want to bet he takes him out? And sure enough, I see the hood bow up as he's spinning sideways.
So I mean, that doesn't make Allgaier a bad guy. It's just kind of one of those lapse in judgment deals, and didn't work out for him at all.
No.
He got brought back to pit road on a wrecker, so it didn't really work out for him. I don't even think he had a shot at the end. Like, he didn't come anywhere close to being competing for the win. But
I do want to say that car made me want some ice cream.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best Reese's paint schemes in history, I think. And I, obviously, big Harvick fan, loved the 21 car and the 29 schemes they ran with Reese's, but that scheme was probably one of the best Reese's schemes ever.
Yeah,
The best Reese's car. I love
Reese's. Sorry,
it is the
I don't wanna
top
pronounce
view
that.
of the 29 car. I think at Pocono,
Oh yeah,
where it's like all,
Indy.
where it's all like
it's
jacked
an
over and
Yeah.
god, it's beautiful.
Twisted as could get.
I know, man. I've got that picture somewhere. I just don't know where it's at.
It's a
Here it
beautiful
is.
scheme.
That was easy. Yeah, because it's the Elvis car.
Oh, look at that beauty.
Yeah.
That is art. I love it.
So it's funny, the guy that took the picture, like, getting up. I forget what the exact story is, but like, he took the picture, he didn't really think anything about it, and then the next day he got like a bunch of calls, and it was shortly after that NASCAR was like, okay, we gotta do something.
That's a shame.
By the way, that Reese's Elvis diecast, that exact car, that freaking thing, I don't guess they didn't make a lot of them, but that thing is worth some money, like a lot.
Probably
of
because
money.
of Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many Elvis schemes they made. That's definitely one of the more sought
true.
after deals.
I think Rusty Wallace actually drove one. I think back in the day.
Rusty had one.
Probably. You look like you're thinking.
He is
Yeah, I'm
thinking
trying-
hard. The wheels
trying to
are
remember that.
grinding.
Dale Jr. ran an Elvis scheme.
Who that?
It was a cool looking car.
Oh,
Well, his grandmother is like a huge fan of it. Of
yeah. He talks about that a
Elvis.
lot.
Who
So-
ain't?
Speaking of Earnhardt, have y'all listened to his
Who ain't?
newest
I don't know.
podcast? His
I need
Becoming
to,
Earnhardt. I've listened to the first
Everybody
two
says
episodes.
it's
It's
awesome.
pretty good. And I'm not big on shouting other
I want-
podcasts out on our podcast, but that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I mean, Junior kind
We'll never be up there with Dirty Mo.
of. Right, well, we never know. You never know. One day, but either way,
Maybe we'll be Dirty Mo.
I mean,
Dale.
I'm gonna be Dirty Mo's if I change my name to Mo and don't take a shower for the week.
Dirty Davey.
sheesh.
There
Dirty
was a really
Dave.
big racing podcast scene before Junior started doing the download. So I mean, it's kind of hard to not like give homage to that.
Speaking of podcasts and people in
We have
podcasts,
one.
what about Ryan Priest and Corey LaJoy? He was a little heated, huh?
Yeah, Corey LaJoy does have a podcast. Did anybody see what happened? I did not see what happened.
I just saw the Priest get
They're
out of his car, run up to LaJoy's car, and some words were said, not appropriate words.
They're getting mad over like 32nd place or whatever. Like, why are you getting so angry?
What about Logano and the track workers? He was a little fired up.
Oh man,
Before we get off the Priest deal,
boy, it was hot.
seems like my guy's gotten wrecked every single week. Oh yeah, every week he's pissed off at somebody, but usually it's pretty justified. I don't know what happened, so I don't know if it was justified. But it does seem like he's been getting run over every week. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that takes a toll at some point.
What was it, last week with McDowell?
And McDowell, that one was rough because McDowell was like, hey, basically coming up trying to apologize, took complete 100% responsibility for it. And it was kind of like, okay, don't care. I don't care if you are apologizing, still mad at you, which again,
Stop talking to me, dude.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
there's
SHR's
so many-
got to figure out their performance so they're not around the mess. Because the mess leads to being messed up.
Yeah.
If you're performing well, odds are you're not running into an issue every single week.
Right.
And if you're running into an issue every single week, your performance is probably not where it needs to be. It's hard for me to say performance today.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I can't. All I can find are videos of the altercation. I can't find any videos of what actually happened on track.
NASCAR's got one up on Twitter.
Really?
From the end cars that they're putting in all the cup cars.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
That
watching that one.
kind
right
of
now.
shows what's happens. I think. I might be wrong.
Which I think Elliott Sadler said it best. Like, until you strap into that car, you run a race, and it's 95 degrees outside, and you're in the car, and it's 140 degrees, and you're hot and sweaty, and some guy runs over you, like you're like a lap from the finish, and you get run over. It's like, even if you're running 30th, whatever, more than likely you're going to lose spots, and you're going to finish less where you were running, and it's it's hard to understand that without actually being in the situation.
Especially when people don't hit other people. Like a certain number 11 than number 5.
Oh, come on. It was racing. That was a racing deal. And speaking of hitting, somebody needs to have helmet throwing lessons.
I got one right back here.
I'm not mentioning any names, but I'm pretty sure they used to play baseball and like 5 feet was like terrible. Like, oh man.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that helmet's carbon fiber. It's not that heavy.
I mean,
Maybe it just got stuck on.
but then again, like you just got wrecked doing 180, so you might be a little jogged around in the head.
And there's a little difference between getting wrecked and wrecking yourself, but we'll take that.
I'll let the replay talk for that.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I'm not
determination about that.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that. But yes, the helmet
That's fine. That's fair.
could have definitely went further. It could have sold earlier and further.
It's the correct car, but we got another helmet throwing NASCAR, and that's never anything to be ashamed of.
I mean, my favorite is Stewart. My favorite is Stewart and Kenseth. Like his helmet went 50 feet in the air. That was awesome.
My thing is, it's like, did he wreck himself? Depends on who you ask. It looked like he turned across his nose. But no matter who it is, no matter what the situation is, it's nice to see personality and like emotions. Yeah. Emotions are great. Everybody says they want drivers to have emotions, and then they do something that's like, well, that's not how you should have handled it. But it's like, that's what we're asking for. We want to see these guys have personalities. So no matter the situation, who's wrong, who's right, whatever, it's cool to see these guys, getting emotional over this deal, because they should be. Will there be any penalties for it?
I hope not. That'd be something stupid to be penalized for.
Yeah.
But
I know they've got that.
you don't walk on the track.
I
He
mean,
was
he
on the
was
apron.
3 feet from a safety worker, so
Yeah, he was. But he also, if you watch the video, I'm pretty sure he steps over the line, which I'm sure in the moment he's not like, oh, I better make sure I don't step over the line. But, so that's the only reason I could see them saying, hey. And I think if they do, I don't think it'll be like crazy, like, hey, here, $10,000 fine, something
Yeah.
stupid. Just
I
say,
mean-
hey, don't do that again. Just so they
You
can
know
I mean,
who
it's a
that-
safety
that
thing. So.
rule brought up was
Was it Danica?
no, it was. I'm fairly certain that rule came after the Tony Stewart incident and when
Oh.
the Bowman Gray dragging of the driver happened.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
crazy. It was happened around
Oh.
the same time. So.
Happens to be related to the guy that said he wants to come on the podcast. I'm fairly certain.
A relative.
Oh, yeah, he was. I
That's
forgot
what I
about
said.
that.
He's related to the guy that said wants to come on the podcast.
I like that.
That's what I just said.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
We'll have him on in a few weeks. Won't mention any names yet, but
That's right.
It'd be a surprise. We have a couple that are coming on.
not as in a couple, as in they're together, but two separate people.
Yeah.
And two
Not as
separate
in,
classes.
Not as in like Davey and his relationship with Martin Truex Jr. Not like that.
We are not a couple, no matter how bad you want us to be.
I mean, you could have a sugar daddy. I'm just saying.
That's true.
He ain't going after me, Mom.
No, he's not going after you, but if that's your thing, hey, I support it.
Hey, it's 2023. I ain't judging.
Nice.
Love whoever you want to.
You do you, boo boo.
I love my wife. I love my country.
Does she love you back?
I love my guns.
Oh, I know you love your wife. And your wife's great. She also doesn't have $20 million.
This is America. The land I love. That's all I got to say.
So we talked about Pocono. Oh yeah, PJ might have 4 wins this year, but I don't know if y'all remember a couple weeks ago when I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm going on the road as a mechanic. I'm not a tire guy anymore. Since we made that team swap, we are running off 3 straight top 5s. So I'm pretty.
I can give Troy
excited
more
about
credit than you.
That's fine. You can.
Okay.
I give him all the credit in the world. He laughs every time anybody says that. I was like, yeah, I haven't done anything. But, man, I think somebody said they mentioned it on the broadcast Saturday. That I guess Chris said that they had moved positions around, or somebody said it. I'm like, that's awesome, man.
Can I give somebody a shout out that never gets recognized from colleague?
Yeah.
Lenny Chandler. That sucker works his tail off.
You better watch this episode since you're giving him a shout out.
Like, that dude is always... You messed it up with your shirt off. That dude is always working his tail off. Like, Lenny Chandler. Like, nobody ever recognizes him, but I see it. You guys, I know you
recognize
two
him
see
every
it.
time I see him.
I know you two see it, but, like, I see it. I don't even work there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like,
It's insane.
Lenny makes stuff happen.
I don't envy him in any way, shape, or form because
No.
Lenny is always running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yep.
It's like the dude can't walk 5 steps without somebody saying, hey, Lenny, hey.
Yep.
Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's Davey. It's me a lot more often than it's Davey. Either
I'm
way,
asking Lenny too many questions.
that's what I'm saying.
I try to go up the chain of command.
But
He's a businessman. He ain't got to worry about me. He don't need to worry about that.
But that's also why he's one of the most trusted employees that College Racing has. It's because he is who he is. Him and Justin Cox are Chris's right-hand men. And they 3 of them have been working together for forever, like back to the KHI days. So it makes sense. You get good people in good positions, you want to keep them there. And you get people you trust, then it works even better.
I agree. I like old LC. That's my buddy.
Yeah, they both deal with a lot more BS than I could imagine, just on a daily basis.
Yeah, I don't want any part of any of that. I'll stay down here on the totem pole.
Yeah. So how about this other controversial, I guess, finish? But the discrepancy we had between 2 other drivers, Larson v. Hamlin. at the end of the race Sunday.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Somebody
Jesus.
didn't touch somebody.
Yeah. Whatever.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely ran into him, but it's just
100%.
deals.
They met in the middle, and Larson got
Yeah.
the bad end of that. He was
did.
the banking for Denny to make the corner
I
exit.
mean, 8 tires better than 4.
Yeah, for the inside guy.
Yeah, well, not always. It depends on where you're at. In this situation, it was.
The inside guy's never going to help the outside guy turn unless it's head on to the inside wall.
I mean,
It's like the 11 helped the 48 turn around this weekend. Never touched him. It shows clear as day. Never touched him. But
Yeah, no, that definitely there was no
happened?
contact.
you know, and they mentioned on the broadcast those cars, the next gen cars, don't typically get affected too much by the car behind them. But it looked like he got arrow loose as a sumbitch.
Yeah, it was weird because it's like
you got that little
cars don't really
buffer
do
in
that.
between, and then once you hit that
Yeah,
buffer, that wall, she go.
These things are notoriously hard to catch, anyways. You know, with the low profile sidewalls, there's not like a lot of flex in the tire.
A lot of times they can just downshift, catch it.
Right, but when they snap, they snap.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's fair.
But at the end of the race, let me see if I can pull up Hamlin's quote.
I think it's ridiculous that if you have a flat on these things, you can't even move. It's just,
Oh man,
I think it's the dumbest
we're
thing.
not gonna play it on here because it's very expletive laden. But go to
Logano's
Twitter
deal?
and look up the Logano in car from when he was sitting there with a flat tire. He
Backwards.
is fired up.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it yet, which by the time the episode comes out on Wednesday, I'm sure all you guys will have. If you haven't seen it yet, the reason we can't play it on this show is because
It would sound like this.
would just be a beat. Yeah,
tow truck.
he's mad, man.
Yeah, he's a little fired up.
It's crazy.
That's what I told you guys to do the whole time.
Yeah. He calls the guy over.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "What?
Jesus.
What do you want?
It was
Trying.
bad.
I'm gonna push you back. You can't
That's-
push me back."
That's some of that Frank. That's some of that Frank Boris family right there.
Ooh. Jesus.
Love you, buddy.
But back to Hamlin. So the exact quote post-race of Hamlin is, both guys wrecked themselves. There was a lane. He, Larson, missed the corner first and evidently didn't have his right side tires clean. And when he gassed up and got going again, you have an option in those positions to either hold it wide open and hit the fence or lift and race it out. Those were the choices they made. I didn't hit either one of them. Didn't touch them. Which is complete bullshit. And option number 2, we already discussed the Bowman incident. Didn't touch him. He doored the shit out of Larson.
Beat it up.
Intentional or not, racing deal or not, he definitely touched him.
Well, but again, I get it. Everybody, yes, you are right. He definitely touched him, and he definitely said he didn't touch him. But I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Jesus, play devil's advocate here. You've just been in a race car for 4 hours, racing for a win. Huge moment. 600th win for Toyota, 50th win for yourself. 7th at Pocono at one track. It's like, okay, it's a big moment. So all I'm doing is giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, hey, he just slipped his mind, or he was thinking about a different incident, or what. Or maybe he just knew and was just, like you said, guessing. All I'm saying is I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I'm really interested to hear what he's got to say on his podcast. If he's had time to go back and watch it and kind of walks back that statement a little bit on
I'm sure he will.
incident number 2, or if he goes full bore and just says the hell with it.
I think he
Everybody-
Stand my ground.
Everybody gets all pissed off. It's like, he says one thing and does another. And it's like, well, yeah, but you also got 2 different people there. Like, the beginning of the year, we had the two-faced Joey Logano thing. And, yeah, I think most drivers are two-faced. And I think that's normal.
You have your driver.
Everybody brings up Earnhardt.
You have your in-car person, and then your outside of the car person.
Daryl even said it best. He was talking about him and Earnhardt. He's like, it was on the SRX broadcast the other night, and he said it best. He said, "Hey, listen, out of the car, Earnhardt was one of the absolute best people I knew in my life. In the car, couldn't stand him. And that's just, I think a good race car driver doesn't have to be that way, but at the same time, it's like you have a different guy. You've got Denny out of the car advocating for the drivers, himself, teams, whatever. And you've got the guy in the car that's like, hey, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to win. Or get as close to it as I can.
Jesus. So I just read Larson's post-race comments of the incident. And the point about I'll focus on what he was really saying about Denny. He says, I've been cost a lot of good finishes by him throughout my career. And I know he says that I race a certain way. But I don't think I've ever had to apologize to him about anything. Not that I'm sure he'll say I'm sorry after this, but it is what it is. Just move on and try to go to Richmond, where we won earlier this year. It is what it is. Yeah, we're friends. Yes, this makes things awkward. But he's always right. All the buddies know Denny's always right. It is what it is. I'm not going to let it tarnish our friendship off the track. But I am pissed. And I feel like I should be pissed. Those are fairly strong words from a guy that doesn't normally have too many words to say.
Yeah, but that's all fair. I mean, what part of that isn't justified? I mean, he feels like Hamlin raced him like an asshole, and he did.
Yeah.
And, again, do what you got to do to win the race. Get it. But, also, raced him like an asshole.
Yeah.
So, he has the right to say, hey, sorry. Whatever, or I didn't touch him, whatever he said. And then Kyle has the right to be pissed because he got raced that way.
He calls him how he sees them.
That's big of him, but again, getting out of the car, having all those emotions going, that's big of him to say, hey, it's not going to mess up our friendship, but I'm mad. I don't have a problem with any of those comments.
Yeah, it is what it is, like Larson said, and we'll see if anything happens moving forward, and if all the enemies Denny's making on the racetrack supposedly will affect his playoff push throughout that in a few weeks. But if y'all don't have anything else to say, we can move on. Road America / Richmond this weekend. All ready?
I know Davey's got a big I race to win in a little while. PJ, you'll be in it. I think
I'm not going to win, although I did get my first iRacing win.
Woo! Yeah.
That's Talladega, so you can draft if you want to come and join me.
I got to keep up with the draft to draft. So there's that.
It's easy. Just get in front of me and you'll keep up with the draft.
Yeah,
I like to push anyways.
Yeah.
No.
We not qualifying, or because there's no way I'll be in front of you?
Well, it's Talladega. We'll get there. But anyways.
I suck.
So does the truck series
coming out of 4?
Yeah, it'll be coming out of Tri-Oval, not out of 4.
I'll go shift it. Just blow the motor.
You're high coming out of 4. Then
you stay high coming out of Tri-Oval. Anyways. Whoa, easy. So does the truck series race this weekend? Do they race at Richmond? Yes, they do. Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, shut up.
right.
So the Truck and the Cup Series at Richmond, the Xfinity Series only goes to Richmond once per year. Obviously, that race was won by our own Chandler Smith early this year. But this time we get to go to Road America.
Love it. I love Road America. You guys have been, I know your experiences have not been great, but it is one of my favorite places to go on the schedule. The fans, the atmosphere, everything's great.
I won a race there, but it got taken away from me. So there's that.
I understand why you guys hate it. Because you had some very crappy experiences.
Didn't y'all wreck the entire field or something like that?
Yeah.
Nobody touched any. Okay. So we're at Road America with, I mean, the driver is like badass. It's Rafa Matos. He's driving Indy Lights. Like he's a badass. He's won, I don't know, probably 20-something Trans Am races. There's an animal dog shelter. If anybody needs a dog, contact Davey.
That's right, Davey Weaver.
So, you get his number from episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You can still get a free sticker. That offer's still valid.
Oh, by the way, I'm sending those out this week. I haven't forgot about you. Kinda.
That's okay.
I almost forgot.
Hey, they know we're busy. They know we're busy. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah. But anyways, like we were third or something. We go into the kink and we get ran off track and we lose our splitter. Well, the splitters on those cars are pretty much 4 inches sticking out of the front all the way to the radiator. Like, solid. Huge.
Jesus.
So, we lose it. So, obviously, you don't have that much front downforce. Now you have to use more brake getting into the corner. By this time, we were leading the race with no splitter. Well, he lets off, taps the brakes going into the kink, and the whole field, besides 3 cars right behind us.
It was a big one.
And they wave the yellow checkered flag, come back by. So, we won the race, right? Nope. They went back to the last lap.
Ah, that sucks, man.
We were in victory lane on the podium, and they're like, nope. And then here comes the car that won on the rollback. I'm like, really?
It's crazy because Road America
Was that a current
4 miles
competitor of
long.
ours?
Mike Skeen.
Oh, was it him? I thought it was the other one. No, you were getting yelled at by somebody else's dad.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying, Sam? 4 miles?
Yeah, that's his name.
I'm just saying.
He drives a certain number 1 car.
Oh, number 1 car. Who could you be speaking of? Anyway, no, that's crazy. Road America's 4 miles, but smaller series like that have less. Scoring, so it's like, hey, we just go off what we can. Sucks, especially in that situation. It's kind of dumb, but what can you do?
Not much you could do. They didn't finish first.
Road America will be exciting. Can't wait to go. And
I love Road America.
It's always a good race.
Elkhart Lake is great.
It's beautiful up there.
we
I just hated that week.
Then the little
will
strip
see
there.
who
Oh,
see
Sipkins.
10 car this week.
Was that the little bar? What's up there?
Have you ever been to Sipkins, Sam?
I don't think
You have to go at least once. So the whole bar is lined with decals over, I don't know, 60 years or whatever from like every race team that's ever raced there.
it's pretty cool.
I even put a
something
decal
like
up.
that.
So
It's cool.
like
Yeah, it was a neat place to go.
it's awesome.
Well, it should be an exciting weekend at both racetracks. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what we can make happen.
What do y'all think is going to happen in the Richmond
Solid Racing
race?
Victory Circle and not PJ this weekend.
PJ can get the college
PJ.
wins too. What do y'all thinking of the Richmond race this week? Who do y'all think's gonna? It's always a boring race. It's that short track that runs long forever, but it's always filled with strategy. I remember Hamlin or Harvick or both of them doing the 2-stop strategy in that last stage instead of the 1-stop strategy and coming from a lap down and catching the leader and winning. I mean, it's just ridiculous what they could do with tires there. I don't remember if that was 2 years ago or last year. But if they can replicate something like that, I mean, obviously it's not the most action-packed race, but it's for the strategist side of things and for hardcore racing fans like us, it's cool to see, not just a demolition derby, but actual racing and the teams helping a little more on the racetrack versus just who can outdrive who.
And who knows, it could turn into a complete shit show, but we'll see.
Yeah.
There it is. I was waiting for it. That's the first I've heard it today.
What?
Shit show.
Yeah. Viewers, listeners, thank you.
Oh, there
If
it
you
is.
can't see me, I'm pointing at the screen because Davey loves it when I do that. Appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all watching.
PJ, you want to tell a Road America story? Or do you want to leave it? It's not that interesting, but it'll give the fans a glimpse of what it's like to work on the road when it really sucks.
Road America. Was that the 2-week stint?
Yeah, when we were at Mid-Ohio the week before, and our engine blew in one of our cars, and the other car ripped the entire right front off, like 4 laps to go. Just the right front is, I think I have a photo of it somewhere, and if I do, I'll figure out how to add it to the video because it was just completely destroyed.
I burnt my phalanges off on that pit stop.
Yeah, but it was a good pit stop.
I pulled the tire off of a road course car with no gloves on.
Yeah, shout out Michael Self because he was running pretty dang good in that race until the motor blew. Even though he had a flat tire, he was coming through the field.
Yeah,
you guys did a good job fixing it.
But
you always do.
So that all happens. Well, we have to pull the motor. We end up having a driver change in one of our cars, and we're taking, I think, 4 cars in Road America. We've got the owner, we've got Tyler Casera, and then we had Harrison Burton and Christopher Bell driving for us as well, correct?
Yeah, I was on Bell's car.
So Tyler ends up driving a different car that we have to put a motor in.
Selfie's
the one that
car.
Selfie blew up.
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 more cars that all we have to do is some fluff and buff setup stuff. So we drive up to Howe Racing Enterprises in Michigan to fluff and buff on the 2 cars, finish setting them up, and then swap the motor and fix the damage on the other car.
I don't know if anybody knows anything about Howe Enterprises, but it is in Beaverton, Michigan. There is the population's 1,500 or something. It's really low. No cell phone service. It's hot as shit. The closest restaurant's 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away. A McDonald's. There's one gas station, which sells liquor, by the way. That was convenient on the way back to the hotel.
There you go.
Don't you laugh at me. It was delicious. I was not driving.
We shut the trailer midnight. Instead of doing the smart thing and driving to where the ferry will take us across the river, we decide, because we work with a bunch of bitches, to drive all the way around that lake that separates Michigan and Illinois or whatever. You go up through Chicago. I don't remember what lake that is. There's 7 billion up there. So it's a 10-hour drive or whatever. It's forever. Drive through Chicago. We get to our hotel at 10 a.m., maybe a little earlier than that. They don't have our reservation. So we don't have a hotel to sleep at for 4 hours before we've got to go unload at Road America. So they figure that out. We get a hotel. It's actually closer to the racetrack. We go to the track, unload. Nobody's going to buy us dinner, and we're there until 11 p.m. And we've been at the racetrack since about 1, so we didn't really have any lunch. Finally, they get the message, hey, we should buy these guys dinner.
That's a nice little glimpse into racing life sometimes.
So anyways, the weekend goes through. I hang out the window flipping our other people off, lose my Oakleys because they get the road shatter. I think we blew 3 tires and a motor that weekend. It was just terrible. And I was ready to fly home.
Did we fly?
Yeah, we drove down to Milwaukee and flew home.
Oh,
Almost
yeah.
got killed in Milwaukee. So anyways, we went down to Milwaukee and flew home at the end of that. And it was a terrible race. So
Awesome. Great story.
We finished
I've already
there.
heard it once today.
So anyways, like, share, subscribe. Please share it with a friend. Please listen to us. That's all I want. Just listen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You don't have to enjoy us. Just listen to us.
Yep.
Punish yourself by listening to us.
And before we get off, I know Sam's going to thoroughly enjoy this. I want to say thank you to Yes Weekly for having our ad in there, page 18.
And also like to say thank you to Village Tattoo for Davey's new tattoo. I'd show it to you, but I can't lift my leg that high. But if you need a new tattoo, Village Tattoo in Clements.
And Trinity Graphics in Archdale. Adam Dow.
Adam is the man.
Best
Does all our
friends to Green
signage.
Salon in Winston-Salem. All right, cool. I think we got
Best
everybody.
friends. They haven't done anything for me recently.
Davey, your wife works there. Shut
Oh,
up.
yeah. If you need dog grooming in the Winston-Salem area, Best Friends 2 Grooming Salon off Silas Creek Parkway. They'll have your dog in and out in less than an hour and a half. Unless it's a big dog. Anything else?
I think we got it all.
Take that as all.
All right. We are back at the shop.
Ooh.
Thank all my guys, everybody back at the shop.